G'day mates, Argsy here. Welcome back to Western Australia. So we're carrying on from where we left off last time, which is getting this canola all swathed and picked up. So the combines are all up and running again. You can just make one over there if you can get over the wobbles of this swather. They are running over there. There we can see another one and probably one more up front. There we go. And the other grain cart coming down. So like I said, they're all underway. We are here just riding along with this swather for now, just as he goes around the power pylon. And we have the other two coming along there behind us. But all in all, if we just pan around here a little bit further, not much work left for these guys. They should mow through this, excuse the pun, in not too many minutes. In fact, if we just bring up courseplay, 24 minutes of work left. So it's not going to take them very long to get this finished, which is good. And with the way things have been going with the canola, we'll be able to leave those guys just running with the combines and picking things up. I must say it has made it a whole lot easier not having to worry about the combines getting caught up or overtaking each other or anything like that by having the swaths. We have been able to, obviously they just can power past, pick up the irrelevant swath and not clash with the combine next to them, and doesn't impact on the windrower, the grain cart. I'm riding along in the windrower, the grain cart catching up or getting to them, because they can obviously drive between the swaths as well. So pretty impressed with how this has worked, and been a lot of fun to do. So apart from these guys working in this field, we are going to head over and get all the other combines up and running. We've got them set up on a couple of fields ready to get going, so we will head over there, get that sorted. We're also going to have to get a bit of a truck going on field number... we're going to have to get a truck running to take some canola out of the farm silo. It is going to get full pretty quick, I think. We don't have a huge amount of capacity. There we go, 25,000 bushels of canola already in there, and 42,000 litres total capacity. So not far. Well, we are well over halfway. Good price though, $47 a bushel there at Grain Trading Australia too. So we'll get one of the road trains set up and start hauling some of that out for us, which will be good. And other than that, we will just be spending some time with the other combines and getting them up and running. There's going to be a whole lot of harvesting, and that will set us up quite well to move into some more planting and tillage in the coming episodes, or possibly in this episode. We'll see how we go. So I was thinking I might have just ridden along with these guys for the next 25 minutes and put this on a little bit of a time lapse, but if it's going to be as wobbly as it is at the moment, that's not going to make for anything too enjoyable. So we might hop over, jump in one of the combines and just ride along with them for a little bit. So here we are over here with the what's the rear combine at the moment, but certainly not the third one across. The third one across is actually the lead combine at the moment. But we are heading along down this windrow, and if we just have a look again, they've still got another I'm saying just under 3 hours of work to do to get this field finished off. So still quite a bit to do. I think where are we? We're not quite halfway across. Not far from halfway. Let's just look at the map there. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So we're probably halfway across the field just about. Take into account the angles, but we're going to be moving on to some longer runs. So I'd say about 1/3 of the way across. So we'll just leave this running. I'll put this just on a little bit of a time lapse, probably until the swathers are finished. And once they're done, and we get the warning up there to say that the swathers are finishing, we'll jump over, get them parked up and out of the way, and then we'll leave the combines running and go and look at some of the other fields that we're going to start harvesting in. So that little time lapse should have given you a good overview of how our operations are working relatively smoothly, but you will see that the swathers have been popping up warnings. Now I know why that is. It's because they're trying to turn on an angled end row, and the one that's turning first is turning back and coming back on the other one, so we'll have to go over and sort them out. Also looks like we've got some issues here with the grain carts to sort out too, so we'll take a look at that and get things back up and running. We're just catching the very last couple of passes of the swathers. You'll see the other two there are parked up and all finished, and we're just riding along here as this one will come down and negotiate the turn at the end and take that last little bit of canola off. So that is that all done. Now 6.5 hours I've put on the clock for these, and I've only used them in this field, so I don't know if that's actually how long it's taken. I can't remember how long it said it was going to take when we set it up, but that's a fair bit of time. I know, as you can see here, the turning at each end does take a wee while. Obviously they're running quite fast through the field, but getting turned around can take a little bit more time with these rear steer, or I think they're a freewheel on the back, and they use the braking and the front wheels independently to turn. But here we go, we're just going to pick up this last little piece and then we will be all done. So I think we will move on from this field. We're going to leave the combines running over there with picking up these swaths, and we will go and get started in one of the other fields. So I've moved over here into the case and class field, I'm going to call it, where we've got the 6 case and class harvesters. And we've changed out our headers. Now I was watching a YouTube video in the last couple of weeks by Mike Lee's, Farmhand Mike. And he was in, I believe it was in Colorado, and he was watching a wheat harvest on a farm there, and they had 3 case combines set up, and they had these shell-borne shredding headers. Now the way I understand these work is they actually, instead of cutting the plant down near the base and processing all that straw and head, they actually go through and they strip the head off the plant. So they only take it off right up near where the grain pods are, leaving all the stalks still in the field. And then they go through into the header and obviously through the combine and get processed normally, ending up in the hopper. So I thought I'd have a look around, and I managed to find a header. This is I believe it's a 36 foot version. The ones that were on the video Mike had were 42 foot. So this is all I could find, but it looks pretty impressive, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now unfortunately I haven't changed the crop textures or anything like that, so it will show like it is harvesting wheat, but I believe you could change the harvested wheat texture to what it displays when it's harvested, to, if you could find a texture or make your own texture without the grain pods on the top, or the heads, seed heads on the top, to display that. And he explained what some of the benefits are. One of them is because of the region where this was, Colorado, they leave the stalks tall, so any snow that falls during winter is kept. It's not blown away or anything like that. It stays on the ground, and that moisture then ends up in the soil, which I thought was pretty intelligent. A good solution to try and maximise those water resources in the ground. So we're here to give it a go. This is kind of what the series has been a little bit about, is just trying some different things out. So I'm going to jump into the first case here. We will get courseplay all set up on this and get them running. So I'm in the combine here. We've got the header turned on. I'm just going to cut into the field a little bit so we can do the course from within the field. Now what you'll notice is obviously the header is not right on the ground, and that is exactly how they would behave in real life. However, as I was explaining with the crop texture, it does show it as harvested fully. So I'm not sure if it's possible in farm sim to have 2 different harvested crop textures. I don't think it would be. So if you were going to use a header like this, all your harvested wheat would have to change to the fully cut texture, rather than just leaving the stalks there. So a bit of a trade-off. So if you were trying to run a mix of traditional draper headers or something like this versus a shredding header like this shell-borne version we've got here, it might not be quite correct. But we're in the field here now, so I will just very quickly go through our course setup. I've already scanned the field and created a course off it, so we've done that. We're going to have one headland pass, we're going to use multiple tools, we've got our width calculated 9.7 meters, which would calculate out at about 36 foot. And then our field centre, I'm going to try this one on Racetrack. It's not something I've used before. Someone suggested it would have been good for the cotton harvesters to do a Racetrack rather than the, I think I did up and downs on that, or lands, but that was suggested as an alternative to that. Don't believe there's any islands in this field, it doesn't look like it from just looking at it, and we've got 6 tools. So we'll hit generate course and see what we end up with. So that looks not too bad. A little bit of nervous down here, but I'm hoping because we've got the 3 or 6 headland passes that the actual field edge is quite a way over here rather than shown there, because as you remember, this green line is the centre of 6 combines, not of 1. So hopefully the 2 on the left will have taken that pass off. So we will give this a try. We will save it and call this F5 Shelbourne times 6, and then we'll know which one to load for all our other combines. And we need to obviously set this combine here up as the furthest left. We will make sure we've got our vehicle convoys active, and we will press go and let this one start, and we will go and get the other 5 combines all up and going. I have already set up the grain course and the grain cart course, and I have brought one of the trucks over from the canola field. So we'll just run that straight, run the wheat straight into the sell point, seeing we're right next to here. So we'll get this underway. There we go, they are off and racing. So we will get into the other one and get them all going as well. So I have just run into my first problem with this. I had tested the header worked on the case combines, but I did not test it on the class ones. Now these are the Giants DLC from the premium expansion, and they don't seem to want to work with this header. So I may have to go and have a look and see if we can draft in 3 other combines, whether we get 3 more of the case combines or what we do with these, which is a little bit unfortunate. I really like these class Lexians. They're a nice looking combine, but we'll go and take a look at what other options we might have available to us. So I think I've found a solution. We've tested it and it worked. But here we have 3 of Sid Modding's twin screw combines, or bi-rotor combines. He wasn't allowed to use the actual name for them, but they are called the twin screw. Now these are quite a unique beast because they sit on a single tracked platform. They don't have any rear wheels or anything like that. They are just tracks, much like a 9RT would be. So we're going to use these. I don't know whether we'll keep hold of them. We've just added to our combine fleet though, because we've still got the 3 Lexians over there. I was going to try out the CNH Modding US Lexian, but I didn't have it installed, so I went with this instead because it was here and ready to go. So we'll give it a go. I haven't used it before, and see how it performs. And then we've got all 3 of these twin screw combines underway as well, which is a good work. We do have to get the grain cart set up for them. We've got the 2 class tractors that will run the grain carts here. The other 2 grain carts should be all the way down the other end of the field with the case tractors. So we'll get that all going, and it's quite interesting actually to see how these little combines work, with how they turn and everything at each end, being the tracked versions. And so with the combines underway, we'll get the grain carts here set up. I'll just very quickly, while we are right here, show you the course. So we've got the truck parked over there, and we have set ourselves up, and if I just zoom out a little bit, just the normal loop. We've done 2 paths here, one for the class tractors, one for the case tractors, just so they don't queue up and block each other. But they come back around and merge and do a straight line down there, and we've got our cart unload at one end and our truck load at the other. The truck will then peel out and head back down to the sell points once we set the path up there. So fingers crossed that will all work as we expect. So we should be able to just press go on that one, and he'll sit there and wait for a call from those combines. Being a narrow header, probably going to take a wee bit longer to fill up. If we just look at the map, the case, or you can actually see down the bottom here, bottom right corner, the two tractors waiting down there with the grain carts. The case combines got the whole way down one side of the field before they were full. So it's going to take a wee while, and hopefully will mean the grain carts have a lot more success in keeping up than we might have otherwise. So I'll go and jump in the other tractor and get that set up and going too. So they are both all underway. So just riding along here with the bi-rotors, twin rotor, I'm going to keep on calling it wrong, twin screw, they are a bi-rotor. Let's just call it what it is. And I was just having a play around with the settings. Now when you go in the combine, obviously we've set the combine here to tell it which grain cart we want to use. In this case we're using the class, and that's the weight point for the class. If I go in here under settings, we have this one for the combine. We have a pre-call level. Now I just realised I had that set at 60, but I also pre-call or call to unloader. If I hover over that down the bottom, it says unloader when the current unloader reaches the pre-call fill limit. So I would think if I set that to yes, that should start calling a combine, calling a grain cart to come and unload us when we're at 40%. Which if we do that will hopefully mean the grain carts will be following along, coming to unload a lot sooner than they have been, and will hopefully mean we don't get to the point where we are at with the case combines at the moment, which you can make out just over the other side of the field. We'll go and hop onto them. They are sitting here with the lead combine full, cutting into the field, unable to move any further, waiting for those two tractors to come. So we'll see if that change makes a difference, whether that helps with that call level for when the grain carts get here. Just while we're getting the rest of the headland opened on that wheat field, you can see there the bi-rotors are needing an unload. It's been a pretty lengthy task just dealing with the headland pass. It just takes a while. Obviously the combines need to get all the way around, the grain carts struggle to get around, and just a lot of backups and forwards, because obviously there's limited space around the headland until it's open. But ignoring that, we are getting pretty full on our canola in the silos. So we have almost 40,000 bushels of our maximum 42,500 in there. So we are going to get pulled in under the loading auger here, and hopefully some of this down to grain trading too, which is where our best price is at the moment. We'll just ride along here for a second and make sure this truck starts getting filled. So there we go, that is getting some canola there into the first trailer, so it will just keep filling until all three trailers are loaded, and we'll then head down to the sell point. I don't remember how many bushels this takes, must be about 1700 per trailer, so 5,100 or so bushels all up. So there's a few trips in there to get these bins emptied back out. There you go, front one's full, so it should pull forward now and start filling the second one. Just like that. Right, well I'm pretty confident that will take off and do the right thing. So we will go back over to the field and check on progress. It's back over here with the case combines, and we are just starting in on our first cut into the field on our racetrack setup. So as I understand how this will work, I think we will go along here and then we will cut back across right to the other side and basically work this section between here and the other combine there in the distance down into a circular direction, and then we'll come over and do another one, open another one up. So a little bit different to lands, where I think lands sort of cut down the middle and then open out from there. This is going to go round and round. We'll just follow progress along a little bit. Certainly seems to be running a whole lot smoother with the grain carts and everything now that the field is fully open. They were struggling to plot a path from the corner there, get right round to the other side of the field. We've got our lead bi-rotor there on the right, and the other two are still a little bit away behind. Backed quite a way over there, just on the left-hand side on the horizon, so they will catch up at some stage, so it's not the end of the world. But we are up and moving and flowing pretty smoothly. And just as I look in the background there, I can see our road train heading along the road through the trees, off to sell a load of canola. So it seems to be working pretty well there. And our other truck must be in selling some of the first load of wheat, or second load of wheat actually. So we will just carry on work here. I think nothing more for it now than time for a little bit of a montage.
Pretty
So it's been quite an extended montage. We've got a long way through actually opening this field up. I had a lot more difficulties on the headlands with the pathfinding for the auto drive, particularly to get around the far side of the field. I think that's just a byproduct of the fact that they have to go obviously the whole way around the field from where the trucks are to get to where the combines were, so it made it a little bit harder, but we seem to be running reasonably well right now. So we've got these two combines running here together. There's a couple over there pretty close. We've got another one of the case up the front there which is needing an unload, and then we've got one back over there which is cut through. Now when I was planning this course and said what I thought racetracks were going to do, I was actually a little bit wrong. Basically what a racetrack does is it starts on one section and then goes across to another, so you can see where that one is over there behind us, and then works its way across the field in that same sort of pattern. So our next pass will be away from that combine, and then they'll come back and go along this side again. So you kind of work yourself across in sections. It's probably accentuated by having 6 combines working on that course, but it's actually quite a common way when I was growing up, when doing tillage and things like that. It was actually quite a common method we used to use. Meant there was no tight turns at the corners, but it also meant you weren't running over the same ground a whole lot of times, so you were trying to reduce compaction and things like that. So that's basically what racetracks are. What it does mean though is when we first cut down this path, the auger for a combine, the auger is always going to be on the left hand side for the first combine. Obviously we get opened up, but if you were only doing it with one combine, it would not be very functional, because the auger would always on one pass would always be overhanging crop to the left. So certainly lands for that very reason, for my mind, would be a better option. So we're going to leave these guys all running and then head back over to the canola field and see how things are going over there. I had planned to get the other combines, the Fence and John Deere's, up and running in a third field, but sunlight is against us for that, so I think we'll save that for next time. But we will still have this field going, and we'll focus on getting that canola finished for the rest of the night and just leave these guys to it. So back over here in the canola field, and as you can see, to the left of the screen is the edge of the field. So we are on the very last of our full field length runs. You can see the one combine there's fallen a little bit behind, just as a byproduct of when it's been unloaded by the auger wagons. It's obviously had a bit more time waiting around, and these front two have been serviced a little bit better there. Obviously not something we can control with auto drive, so it is just what it is. But these two are running along pretty closely. You can see there, auto drive doing its thing and unloading on the move. I've been really impressed with that. I did mention earlier when we were in the other field whether that call to loader or call to unloader helped. I think it has. I've gone through and done it on all the combines. I think it has helped prompt auto drive to unload a little bit sooner, but I also think that the size of the fields might not be as friendly for something like that as a smaller field might be, just purely because of the distances that the equipment can be spread out. But it has been working pretty well, and I think has helped make things a little bit more efficient. So we'll just ride along here for a little bit, wait until this field is finished, and get everything packed up and tidied up. One other thing I did want to comment on though is someone had asked about what sort of price am I making off some of these crops. Could I give an idea on how many bushels we're getting off, or try and keep a track of it? It's when I'm working in two fields like this, it's actually incredibly difficult. So you can see the money coming in there now, which is a good prompt. That is from the canola being sold from the road train. So there's no simple way that I can think of to keep track of exactly how many loads we've sent. It's not like I can put all of the product into the bins and then sell it once we've got it all in there, so I don't have a count on how many bushels total we've harvested. And when we've got two crops being sold at the same time, with the wheat and this canola, it doesn't show up on the the dollars, the account menu, we can look and see there's 32 grand. That will be from the wheat, so we've actually got both trucks down there at the sell point at the same time. So it certainly is not the easiest thing to keep track of. The one thing I would have been able to keep track of is the cotton from the field next door, because they were sold as bales. So just looking here very quickly, we've got the sold bales line there. So we sold 16 grand. That would have been, I think, one bale. Possibly I was doing a bit of a test with that. But here are all our bales, $2.8 million, pretty much 2.9 when you add that 16,000 in. So I would expect we got $2.9 million selling the cotton. So 8 harvesters at 800,000 a pop. We didn't cover the cost of those, but we certainly covered the lease costs of them. And then down here you can see the different harvest incomes we've made across the course of the days. The 6 million here, this was when we were selling out of the huge field. We did the big one where we had all 6 of the Fence and John Deeres running in the same field. And then since then, I think we also had some of the oat harvest over by the sell point in that one as well. Whereas since then, obviously today, we've made $2 million, and that is purely from selling canola and wheat. And still going up, which is nice to see. So not easy to keep track of, but just to give you a bit of an idea on some of the money we're making. So like I said, we've got really only from here, I can count 2, 4, 6, 7 swath rows, and there are probably a few more over towards where the swathers are still, just some really short ones. So we'll let these guys get finished, and I think that will make a good point to wrap up this episode. And what better way to finish off the canola harvest than a bit of a montage of the last few hours work in this field and up to the end of it. So just one other thing I didn't mention I had done. I changed the unload course here for the trucks just to make it work better, because obviously we were having issues. When the truck would pull in, it would either overlap the grain carts too far, or the grain carts wouldn't go far enough forward to get the truck fully unloaded. So I found the best way, and this is a tip for everyone out there, that if you're going to be unloading into a truck and trailer, to have the truck and grain carts going in opposite directions. What it means is, in this instance, when the grain cart's sitting here waiting, the truck will go under the auger and will fill the truck first and then the trailer, and if it gets to the trigger point, it will wait there if it doesn't get full. Now if that's the case, then when the next grain cart comes past, it will drive past the truck to get to its trigger point and will wait until it is full. Now if you've got them going both in the same direction, they're not actually going to be able to overtake each other like this. So just as an example, we should see the truck come along here, get underneath that first auger, and it should start filling up. Now if I just bring up autodrive and show you the points, so down here we've got the truck load, so the truck is trying to get to that point, the grain cart's at its point here. So this point in between, basically in between the truck load and the unload, is our loading zone. So depending on which way things are going, it's exactly the same way I've got it set up over in the other field, and for me it is the best way I've found to keep things moving at this end of the loading and unloading. Now just looking at our list of warnings there, obviously we've got all 3 of the New Holland combines are waiting to be unloaded because both the grain carts are sitting here. I have made it a little bit hard for myself by splitting the 2 trucks up. I thought that they would keep up quite comfortably, but as it turns out, one truck on its own is not enough for either of these fields. So as soon as we get this one finished, we'll take this truck over to the wheat field and get them running on that unload cycle as well, and we'll free that up. But I just thought I would explain exactly what we're doing there to get this working just a little bit better. And so just staying here for a second, as the grain cart gets to the empty, it should start up and drive off, and the truck will start up and drive forward. The other grain cart should start up and drive as well, because they're still both trying to get to their trigger points, and depending who gets there first, the second grain cart will start unloading. There we go, tab to the right one, start unloading into the trailer. Now I'd expect, again, if we just bring up the auto drive edit, I'm just going to get to an angle to show, neither vehicle are going to have reached their trigger points. So they've met in the middle, and the cart can still go forward, the truck will still go forward. So when the truck is full, the cart will pull up to the front and wait for the truck to get back here. And just to complete the demo, there you go, the truck is full. He will drive off and go and empty out, whereas our grain cart still has 23% in it. So they've pulled forward to the wait point to await the return of the truck. And this is where the issues have arisen with delays, because obviously this grain cart now sits here waiting until the truck is back, which is quite a bit of downtime. And in fact, I might just give it a poke if I click on the forward button, and that should send it off to go and find another combine to unload. Seems a bit redundant to leave it sitting there when we know they're waiting. Some people would probably argue it's a bit silly to be running all the way over to the other side of the field with 356 bushels in it, but for the purpose of progress and knowing how long it can take for this truck to get through the farm and to the silos, I think this is the best option. And just over here in time to catch the last of the New Holland combines getting to the end point. So they're just pulling in here behind the swather. They're probably going to have a bit of a hissy fit at this because they will think they're being blocked and won't get to the end point, or they're just going to drive straight into the back of them. No, they have stopped. Now, normally they would call over a driver because they are empty. Well, they are full and need emptying, but that's not going to happen now that we've stopped that, so we'll just get them backed up and have to manually unload them. But there we go, we are one step closer to having the canola finished. There's still a few rows there. We've obviously, this guy's managed to get ahead a little bit from the other ones, as has been the case with some of them. There we go. I do love watching the auto drive unload on the go. Such a vast improvement on where it was, even when we started this series a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, whenever it was, when we started work here. Auto drive was not as advanced as it was with unloading on the go, so it is great to have that addition. But as I say, not too much longer to go and the canola will be all finished. And just like that, our last combine is covering the last swath of canola. So not too much in there. They will get emptied out by the auger wagon, which is just over there, and we'll be done. Which is nice to see. 20 past 7 in the evening, so just as the light is starting to get to that nice golden hour. Look at that, there we go. So we'll just wait and see if the grain cart will come over here. We're going to have to get them. Looks like they are. I think I just saw something open and move over there. Here we go. So while they're here, we will also get the other two combines emptied out as well. But that has been a great effort. Been quite enjoyable using these swathers. Like I said last time, something different. Something we haven't used before, something I haven't seen many people actually use much of, and the interest it has generated from you guys certainly justifies that. So I'm hoping that the stripper header I've used this time might have a similar effect. So there we go, that is getting emptied out. So I think we will wrap things up there. Next time we have these two fields, this one and the cotton field, just on the other side of the trees there, that needs some tillage. So we'll get the combines back up and running over in the other field. We will get the other combines up and running, and then we might tackle some tillage and probably direct plant back into this canola ground. We won't worry about cultivating it first, but that cotton ground certainly does need some attention. So I do hope you have all enjoyed that episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.